Welcome to Concept Learn.
Coming to the porosity of the soil. Porosity is nothing but the portion of the total soil volume not occupied by the soil particles. 1 centimeter cube volume తీసుకుంటే soil particles ఉంటే దాంట్లో ఎయిర్ అండ్ వాటర్ పోర్ స్పేసెస్ అనేవి ఉంటాయి. ఏదైతే soil particles తోనే ఆక్యుపై చేసిందో ద రిమైనింగ్ పార్ట్ porosity అంటాం. నథింగ్ బట్ pores, both macro and macro pores that are occupied in the soil. ఇక్కడ soil particles ఇవి. The portion of the total soil volume not occupied by the soil particles, either mineral or organic but occupied by air and water. It is normally expressed in percentage. Units of porosity is important. Units of bulk and particle density is megagram per meter cube, whereas that porosity is percentage. Two types of pores are present in the soil, that are macro and micro pores, nothing but capillary pores. Coming to the macro pores. Macro, as the name indicates, big in size. The particles larger size pores. Macro pore size is greater than 0.06 millimeter. Invariably exists in between the sand sizes. The macro pores are generally seen in the coarse textured soils like sandy soils, whereas in the fine textured soil like clay soil we will see the micropores. Next, coming to the next porosity factor, that is micropores. Smaller size pores, that is the size of the micropores is less than 0.06 mm, in which movement of air and water are restricted to some extent. These pores are very important for crop growth. Why the micropores are important for crop growth means, macropores ఉన్నాయంటే మనం ఏమైనా వాటర్ అది చేస్తే అది డ్రైనేజ్ కంప్లీట్ గా కిందికి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది, వాటర్ అనేది స్టోర్ అవ్వదు. వేరేస్ మైక్రోపోర్స్ లో ఏంటి అంటే వాటర్ స్టోరేజ్ అనేది ఉంటుంది, ఆ వాటర్ ప్లాంట్ యూజ్ చేసుకుంటారు. సో మైక్రోపోర్స్ ఆర్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ ది crop growth. Generally, clay and clay soils have the greater number of capillary pores. Sandy soils have macro pores. Clay soils have micro. This is important for exam. The porosity. Porosity is nothing but the sum of total micro and macro pores. The porosity is high in the deep clay soils. More the number of micro pores, more is the porosity of the soil. Lowest porosity is seen in the sandy soils. Not much important, but just remember that clay soils have more porosity when compared to that of the sandy soils. Greater porosity compared to that of the sandy soils. This is important for exam. Calculation of porosity. Generally, as we have discussed earlier, soil composition nothing but both the solid phase, this is 50%, this is 50%, which is equal to 100% of the soil. In the solid space, both mineral and organic matter, whereas in pore space, soil, air and soil water, as we have discussed in the earlier classes. Solid space is equal to bulk density by particle density into 100. Pore spaces is equal to 100 minus solid space. Bulk density by particle density into 100. Nothing but 1 minus bulk density by particle density. This is the formula of porosity. This formula is important for exam. In this way, we will calculate the porosity of the soil. Coming to the factors affecting the porosity. First factor is soil structure. As we have already discussed, there are different type of soil structure like spheroidal, granular and clumpy have the more porosity when compared to that of the platy or blocky structure. A soil having the granular or clumpy structure contain more pore space than that of the prismatic or platy structure. Coming to the texture, the arrangement is very loose or very, we will say granular. That's why the porosity is more in granular or clumpy structure when compared to that of the prismatic or platy structure. Coming to the next factor, that is texture. As we already discussed, that clay contains the more pore spaces when compared to that of the sandy. Sandy soils, the total pore space is small, whereas in fine texture soil nothing but the clay soils. Total pore space and micropores are higher. The sandy soils and micropores are present in the clay soils. Coming to the organic matter content. Whenever we add the organic matter content, it will form aggregates. Aggregates nothing but increase in porosity. So, higher the organic matter facilitates the more aggregation, thereby more porosity. ఎప్పుడైనా మనం ఆర్గానిక్ మ్యాటర్ యాడ్ చేయడమే ఎందుకంటే porosity అనేది ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుందని. మనం ఎప్పుడైనా ఆర్గానిక్ మ్యాటర్ అనేది సాయిల్ కి యాడ్ చేసామనుకో, అది పక్కనున్న పార్టికల్స్ తోనే అగ్రిగేట్స్ అనేది ఫామ్ అవుతుందో, దాని వల్ల పోర్ స్పేసెస్ అనేవి సాయిల్ లో ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. కమింగ్ టు ద డెప్త్ ఆఫ్ ద సాయిల్. సాయిల్ ఈస్ వెరీ కాంపాక్టెడ్ వెన్ కంపేర్డ్ టు దట్ ఆఫ్ ద సర్ఫేస్ సాయిల్. With increase in the depth of the soil, porosity will decreases because of the compactness in సబ్సాయిల్. ఇక్కడ సాయిల్ అనేది చాలా కాంపాక్ట్ అయి ఉంటుంది. ఇట్లా కాంపాక్ట్ అవడం వల్ల పొరాసిటీ అనేది డిక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది వెన్ కంపేర్డ్ టు దట్ ఆఫ్ ద సర్ఫేస్ సాయిల్. ఆర్గానిజం. మైక్రో ఆర్గానిజమ్స్ లైక్ ఎర్త్వర్మ్స్, rodents and insects etc. increases the micropores. Rodents nothing but rats. By moving in the soil, increases the pores. Due to the presence of earthworms in the soil, organic matter content is more, nothing but they form the aggregates. Because of formation of the aggregates by the earthworm, porosity is more. Cultivation. Intensive cultivation tend to lower the porosity as of the soil as compared to the fallow soil. The decrease in porosity is due to reduction in organic matter. Organic matter content is more when compared to the intensively cultivated soil. So organic matter fallow soils lo porosity is more when compared to that of the intensive cultivated soils. Intensive nothing but repeated cultivation.